He said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, wherever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, wherever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, wherever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, wherever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, wherever the chimneys in Sion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and wherever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that had gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
See, this is what we're hoping for. This is part of our hope. Not only that we are members of the elect, with fruits meet for repentance, like John the Baptist said, but from our low estate, because we've been brought low, even though we have this knowledge, we have this truth. Remember what it said in Revelation. I know thy works of tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Why are we rich? Because we're rich in faith. We have this knowledge. So our hope is at our last end, we're going to be increased. Okay? And if you ask me, the greatest riches right now is to be delivered by Yahawashi, is to get that new body that the Apostle Paul spoke about in 1 Corinthians 15th chapter, to get that, get that new body where we'll never be sick, we'll be immortals, like it said in 1 Corinthians 15. To be delivered from the coming destruction, and to be a part of Yahawashi's cabinet in the next kingdom. Okay? Those are the real riches right now. That's what we want to get. Because if you get that, you got everything. I mean, you got everything. Okay? So our sights are set a lot higher than this present world. Alright? As it is written, the fashion of this world shall pass away. We are individuals of vision. And the scripture said where an individual lacks vision, he perishes. Okay? So we can see the future. Alright? And we hope that we're going to be part of it, beginning with the elect.
Shalom to the elective Israel, to the hopeful elected Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations, scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we're part of that number. Lord willing, us be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. Your judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, but it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9, and it's unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. With the water for everybody who comes and tunes in. Yahawah, Barak, Atham. And Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. today is a day of atonement, and we'd afflict our souls for a day, evening to evening, and it's actually one of my first day of atonements that I've got to do properly. So it's a very special day for all of us Israelites. Shalom, Bahasham, Barak. It's a special day for all of us, to kind of do a reset and, get ready for these times as they come. And we're going to deal with some topics the Lord put the Spirit on me to come bring across. It says the coming civil war, Pentagon official warns of new pandemics, mass mandates return. In some places, we're going to talk about that. And some other various end time topics. So Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. Go ahead and get started. Hopefully that music's not too loud. Got it down pretty low, but if it's too loud, let me know on the comment board. So we'll go ahead and get started. And it's talking about the current civil war. And it's also, going to show these Edomites are saying the same thing. Because right now, Trump, or who we believe is Emperor Nero, he is in jail right now, and that's going to cause a lot of commotion in America, Babylon the Great. According to Sarah Palin, we're going to watch a little video of her talking about it too. So it says Republican magma movement folks have been predicting another civil war. The federal government's deep state is trampling upon their freedoms and those of former President Donald Trump. So they call it deep state, but really it's the elites, That's what they kind of call the elites, deep state, the ones who are in control of all the money and the supplies. And we know in the Bible that is Amalek, the first descendants of Esau, which is like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all these very big banking rich companies, okay, and families. So 2 days after the election day of 2020, Stuart Rhodes, found under the Oath Keepers armed extremist group. Hold on real quick. Turn this down just a little bit more to make sure it's not too loud. Okay. Back over here. So 2 days after the election day in 2020, Stuart Rhodes, under the Oath Keepers armed extremist group, told his high-ranking members, "We aren't getting through this without a civil war." See, they're all believing in that this is going to happen, but the scriptures have already told us that there is going to be a civil war. Twitter post mentioning civil war soared nearly 3,000%, denouncing the FBI for searching Donald J. Trump's Florida home for missing classified documents. The last time civil war was threatened occurred when the abolitionists, the core group creating an emerging new liberal Republican Party, pushed the southern states to abandon slavery. Liberal Republicans, conservative Democrats were fiercely divided on whether enslaved Judites, which they say so-called black people, should be freed, but it took within the context of individual states defining citizenship. And really, when they had the so-called freedom, we were basically just transferred up north. We weren't really free still. Until this day, we still not free. It's an illusion. Okay, we still have to, everything that we get, they have their hand on it. We can't do anything here without them having a cut. So that's showing that we're not actually free still. Okay? So, but it took place within the context of individual states defining citizenship. The federal government have the right to declare new states free from slavery, or should the new states have freedom to have, Judite slaves? Okay? So, that goes into a little bit of what happened last time. And, they're kind of explaining that. But now we're going to go over to Sarah Palin and what she's talking about in this time, what's going to start the Civil War, and show the comparison, and then we're going to put in some precepts. So Sarah Palin warns Civil War after Trump arrest. We do need to rise up. Okay? she acting like she gonna pick up a damn gun. She ain't gonna do nothing.
Governor Sarah Palin, who's standing.
So let's do this. Turn this up a little bit more, so we can hear this, and turn this music down a little bit more so it can be heard.
Standing by. Governor, I hope you're there. By the way, folks, if you stay on this, because we're going to talk about this for the next few minutes and break this all down, Trump will also call in to the Greg Kelly show, which will be right at the end of our show. So you got to stay here. If you're at all concerned about the Republic, just stay on Newsmax from here throughout the rest of the night. Governor Palin, really good to have you. We've talked about the two-tier justice system, but when you see it happening, when you see the former president being fingerprinted, having to show up, turning himself in. You see the mugshots of the other, 7 or 8 who've turned themselves in already. Do you have concern for the country as I do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think those who are conducting this travesty and creating this two-tier system of justice, I want to ask them, what the heck? Do you want us to be in civil war? Because that's what's going to happen. We're not going to keep putting up with this. And Eric, I like that you suggested that we need to get angry. We do need to rise up and take our country back. Now, I would say the RNC, though, that's what's lacking when it comes to collective anger that can be healthy and it can be useful. Where is the RNC? They hold the purse strings to the party. They hold the funds that could be helping out in this situation. They have the platform, and yet they're too timid. A bunch of pretty rhinos running the thing. So the RNC, they better get their stuff together, or have to ask them too. What do they want as an outcome of this civil war?
Right. And it says former vice president candidate called on Republican leaders to take a stand violently. Okay, right there. It's about to get real. Okay. These Edomites are coming against each other and they're angry. Okay. Because things are not going the way that they want them to go. Okay. So they mad Trump, their little boyfriend, is in jail. So they're mad. We shouldn't go down. Shouldn't get serious. So we're going to put in some precepts about this, and then we're going to get into some things concerning the Pentagon and these new pandemic threats that they're talking about. But first, we're going to pull up some things that are going to show what is to come. We know these things are going to happen. We're preparing for them, and we're keeping our eyes single and focused on Bahasham and Yahawashi. So when these things happen, we won't be the ones who are freaking out and whatnot. Lord's gonna, he's gonna protect those who he loves. He's gonna put the spirit on them not to be afraid during this time, and we pray to be in that number. So 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 31. Okay, because they used to not get on live TV and say, "Oh, we got to take back the government violently." Okay, they're not that, and I thought they're not supposed to promote violence. Well, as you see, these are not peaceful people, man. They're demons. So 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 31, then that's what they're starting to figure out. They're gonna have to go back to that old caveman type, style tactics that they had back then. Just take everything by violence. What are they gonna do about it? So 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, which is really going to come down to the Israelites versus everybody else. But right now, the Lord's got Satan fighting Satan. He got their own people fighting their own people, Egyptian against Egyptian. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. So one people against another and one realm against another. See, so the spirit world is basically going to be against the fleshly world, and that's why we gotta remain out of the flesh and do things like today, like afflict our souls, fast, pray, stay in the spirit, stay in the prophecies, watch the times, watch what the Lord's doing in the earth, watch what He's doing making the heathen, stirring them up. We're to watch all these things and continue to pray through, all the situations that we go through, to be able to make it you know, to salvation. You know, we trying to get saved. Like, and that's another thing. I was talking to my elder the other day about it, and we were just like, you know, it makes sense. Like, you know, people don't like being in situations and tough situations, but how are you going to get saved if you're not in captivity? You got to be in captivity. You have to be going through some type of affliction for the Lord to save us. So just because you're going through a tough time doesn't mean that the Lord's not dealing with you. It really means that He is dealing with you. Because if you're just comfortable and ain't nothing going on, that's a problem, okay? So you want to make sure, not saying all the time, you might get a little break, but if you're just always doing good, you know, that's, you know, we're supposed to be getting tried right now and brought through afflictions to be ready for Jacob's trouble. So 2nd Edges, chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right? We know that's coming. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. That's what she was just saying. Take it by violence. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power through their weaponry. That's all. That's what they're trying to say now. They're trying to say, screw all that stuff talking about democracy and let's talk about it. We finna just start shooting at everybody. That's what they finna start doing. So we got to be with Yahawashi. And here comes, this is talking about martial law right here. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because there's going to be so much death everywhere, man. And they got to lock all the sex down for more, because they want more control on what's going on and going in and going out. Okay, so they can get ready for that seal. Verse 18, for because of their pride, you know, they call the military, the feud of pride, the Marines, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. But the men of the Lord are not going to be afraid. Why? Because we will have Bahasham with us. He's also said that He'll send Michael the archangel back, his top archangel that's in the heavens right now. He's going to come back down, and he's gonna protect us. Okay. But, you know, it might be put in a position where you might be like, man, he ain't here yet. You get thrown at your house and they rounding everybody up, and you go down there to the concentration camp, and then he come save your ass. So you got to have faith and be patient and don't be hasty. Don't get jumping, you know, because we're a brotherhood. We're a nation of people all together, starting with the brotherhood first. And you don't just run off on your brothers, man. We're going to go down together, or we're going to make it together. So verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And we already know that, you know, a famine's coming. And I found another article kind of concerning that, but we're going to deal with this first, and then we'll get to it. So 2nd Chronicles, I want to point out something. 2nd Chronicles, chapter 36, verse 14. And this is talking about, you know, what happened in the past, but we can take it, we can plug it into why these things are happening to us now, and why 2/3 of our people are going to end up paying the ultimate price for it. We're going to have to go through some of it too, because we transgressed as well. So 2nd Chronicles chapter 36, verse 14. Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people, see, all of us, with the whole head was sick, transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Lord, which He had hallowed in Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, you know, which is us, you know, starting us as a people, because we were cast out. But at this time, we were in Jerusalem, in Jerusalem, and we were doing these things, okay? So the Lord had to cast us out, okay? And we had to go through all these captivities. That's why we're here. And the Lord, Yahawashi, their fathers, sent Him by His messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because He had compassion on His people and on His dwelling place. And just like now, our people still sinning against the Lord. They still don't want to turn back. And what did He do? He sent His messengers, you know, to go and do this work, okay? Rising them up and sending them because He had compassion on His people. And in the dwelling places, before I go to the next precept, the Lord's putting the Spirit on me to go into the Blue Letter Bible, and we're going to look up that word messengers, okay? Going to go look that up real fast, so bear with me. You know, it's the same thing happened again. It said in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, what happened once will happen again. So this is how we know, we learn how to behave and how to act, determining on the last thing, the things that happened to us the last time we went off. Okay, like I said, basically your best teacher is your last mistake. So you make a mistake, you can learn from it and not do it no more. So, we sent the messengers. Can look that up. This is the point I want to make.
Strong's H 4397. Malach.
Right? And then it says messenger, representative, messenger, and angel. See? We're angels, okay? We're angels in these bodies, trapped in these bodies. Okay? A theophanic angel, okay? That's what we are. We're angels. We're messengers. Okay? Prophet, priest or teacher, ambassador, angel, king, messenger. That's what we are. We're messengers. But in the end, we're going to get all of our, everything back. All of our powers back that we lost. Okay? So verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and they do today, and despise his words, and misuse his prophets. They do today. They use us wrong. They misuse us. But in those times, when people do that stuff, we got to, tap into Yahawashi and just lead and don't take vengeance on those people. Just let the Lord deal with it. You see? Until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy. Okay? And that's what's going to come again. But, we hoping that we are the elect and we can get out of this situation of him putting his wrath on us and we receive mercy. So Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. And it reads, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, which is right now we worn out, but we're gonna keep moving, and even so. And to think to change the times and the laws, and they did that because they changed the times in the Gregorian calendar, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of time. But we know that time is just about up. Why? Because they are out there talking about they're finna have a civil war. Okay, so this is Matthew chapter 24 verse 14. And it reads, in this gospel, this is Yahawashi speaking, in this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. Okay? So after we get done doing all the work the Lord tells us to do, the end's going to come, and then this is going to happen. Matthew, there's going to be other things happening. This is one of the things that are going to happen. Matthew chapter 26, verse 36. Okay? Then cometh Yahawashi with them to make unto a place called Jessamine, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go play yonder. Hold on. That's not the precept I was looking for. It's hold on. I think it's actually a little bit more. Let me go up to it because I want to get to the point. I think it's 40 through 44. Nah, hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah. Matthew chapter 24. I went to 26. So this is what I'm looking for. So this is what's going to be happening during that time. So I really want to start at 36. So, and this reads, but of the day and the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. And this is Yahawashi speaking. So nobody knows when these things are going to actually happen, but we know based off of the movements that he's making, it's very soon. So we got to keep watching and making sure every day we are making sure that we are seeing his accounts of these chess pieces, these people that he's moving on the earth. Okay, because he controls everybody on the planet, man. Says man's goings are the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? So everything that we do is literally Bahasham, Yahawashi controlling us. And it don't really matter what you do when it comes down to it. You're going to get led to either life or death. It's leading you to one place. So verse 37, but as the days of Noah, because that says Noe, but it's Noah, word, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. See, they didn't know. For as in the days that they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving unto marriage, until that day Noah entered into the ark. And right now, this truth is the ark. And once they take away this truth and we can't teach on the highways and byways no more, and they take all the video down, that's basically the spiritual door closing. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall the coming of the Son of Man be. See? And then it says, there shall be then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. So one of them's gonna end up in the chariot, the other one's gonna get left down here to get destroyed. You see? One's gonna make it and one's not. Two women shall be grinding in the mill, which means they'll be at work or something. The one shall be taken and the other left. Okay? This is what's gonna happen. Watch therefore. So you're supposed to be watching. For ye know not what hour the Lord doeth come. So if we are watching every day, we can't miss him. We can't miss him if we watching every day. Watching and observing the times. So, now we're gonna go over here. Says the Pentagon official warns of new pandemics and other bio threats. And while that's going on, it talks about as well, there's new mask mandates returning in some places. Okay? And we'll read a little bit of that, but I really want to get into this. But it's just showing like things are ramping back up. So a senior Pentagon official recently highlighted the need for the United States to have a department-wide focus on increasing biological threats after the COVID-19 pandemic. Deborah G. Roslin-Blum, Assistant Secretary of Defense Nuclear, Chemical, and Biological Defense Programs, recently noted that the United States is facing rapidly increasing number of biological threats across the globe, including those posed by competitors of non-state actors and naturally occurring pandemics that require integrated focus by the Department of Defense. Rosenblum suggested that the integrated deterrence against biological threats will require a combat credible force, she's about to get violent, that is capable of fighting through bio threats and being resilient in the face of increasing dangers. Okay, these threats certainly impact the readiness and resilience of our military forces. Rosenblum claimed biodefense is no longer something that is a pure view of just specialized units who have traditionally been worried about these threats. The Pentagon released the first biodefense posture review earlier this month. So the first one they've ever done, which outlines how the Department of Defense can make changes effectively guard against bio threats from now till 2035. So they're changing stuff right now because they're getting ready. It's gonna be something serious about to go down. According to the Department of Defense, the Biodefense Posture Review was ordered by the Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin III in 2021 memo that unveiled the department's vision for biodefense, and they had their first meeting earlier this month. And we know that they're over there at the BRICS right now, and they're over there doing their thing. Okay? So while this is all going on, or whatever, they're putting up the mask mandates. We're going to read a little bit. Mask requirements are making a comeback in some places. COVID-19 hospitalizations are on the rise. The Hollywood studio Lionsgate, Morris Brown College, and some hospitals have begun to require face coverings again. There are nearly 13,000 people nationally hospitalized with COVID-19 last week, a number that has doubled since late June. According to the CDC, health officials are closely monitoring these three variants. And I did another post talking about some new variant, some probably died off of it and whatnot, right? So this is why you want to be focusing on Yahawashi and praying for him to keep you, unspotted from this world, so you can't receive a judgment like this. You see? So the Hollywood studio Lionsgate has implemented mask mandate on certain floors of Santa Monica, California offices. On several employees have tested positive for the virus, according to the Hollywood Reporter. So they thought that they said that the COVID thing was over, right? No, it ain't over. The Lord's still sending pestilence, man, and that's how these people are. They think that the Lord ain't finna do nothing, man. So let's do this. Let's just read this one little thing. We're gonna look at some precepts. But the numbers are still far below than what they once were. For example, at the time last year, there were more than 41,000 COVID hospitalizations, and the number of deaths from the virus last week, 251, was the lowest point since the pandemic started in 2020. But, it might be, you could say it's at a lower point, but, when you come down to it, it's because all them other people is dead, okay? So it's just like the Lord is, he's slowly taking out people, and catching people, not watching for Yahawashi, and he mainly going after two-thirds of our people. But he's starting at the house of Israel, the ones that know that they're Israelites. Okay, and some of the people that know that they're Israelites are 2/3. That's why they're getting killed. So we got to make sure we watch, and we got to, put on the image of the elect, so we won't be accounted as one of those who is a 2/3. So Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 12, and it reads, "When they fast, I will not hear their cry." See, but when we fast, like we're doing on the Day of Atonement, the Lord is hearing this, okay? He's seeing us afflict our souls for him because we're doing it with sincerity and charity, and we're doing it with honesty. Like, we honestly want to serve Yahawashi. These people, fasting to false gods and stuff, and whatnot, or fasting just to lose weight. Like, that ain't gonna do nothing. So when they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offering and oblation, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. And that's what the Lord's doing right now. He's not accepting their offering. Okay? And we want to be acceptable offerings to Yahawashi. So we're going to do what he told us to do, which is watch every day and many other things. But watching every day, because we're supposed to be an alarm for Israel. We're supposed to be raising that alarm. So this is 1 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 13. And it reads, "If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, if I send a pestilence among my people," which he's doing right now. He did it last time. What are we doing this time? Verse 14. "If my people which are called by my name," which we know is Yahawashi, "shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and forgive their sin, and I will hear their land." But our land starts in with us, because it said the kingdom of heaven was in us. So we have to be healed eternally first, spiritually, okay, before he takes back this land and gives us, our inheritance. Verse 15, "Now mine eyes shall be open, and mine ears shall attend unto the prayer that is made in this place." Okay? So, we don't got to go any more further than that. That's the point. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 25. Alright. And it says, "And I will bring a sword upon you, and shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant." And that's what he's doing to 2/3 right now, and we're trying to get out the way. "And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send a pestilence among you. You shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy." Okay? And that's what he's going to do right now. He's going to send pestilence and stuff among 2/3. And we're going to have to, make sure that we're spiritually intact with Yahawashi and serving him and doing whatever he's telling us to do, so he can, so we can be delivered. But he's going to deliver them to the hand of the enemy by making them take that sea hip, that mark of the beast. He's going to give them over to the devil, man. Okay, he's going to make them go take the juice box. Whatever kind of way that the Lord, has ordained whatever to happen to that Israelite. Because you got to remember, Israelite looks like all nations. So there's a lot of people who don't even know they Israel, and they getting killed, man, because they not come back to Yahawashi. Psalm chapter 91 verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. See, he'll deliver us. We seek his face, and he will surely deliver us. So 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 9. The Lord wanted me to do a lot with Chronicles today. 2 Chronicles. I don't really go into Chronicles too much, so I'm gonna go up over there. So, if when evil comes upon us as the sword, and we know the sword is Esau, Edom, so-called white man, judgment or pestilence or famine, we stand before his house and in thy presence. For thy name is in this house, talking about our bodies, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear and help. And I posted on my comment board a couple GMS members who did the Lord's Prayer. It's good to learn that in Paleo Hebrew and other prayers and pray those, pray those regularly. The Lord hears those prayers, They're basically a sweet savor to him. He likes to hear us pray and ask for his help to strengthen us, And remember, when you do ask him for strength, he's going to put you through a problem, because that's what's going to build your strength. Don't just think he's going to just remove you from problems. He's going to give you problems. That's why we're asking him for strength to pass the test. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 23. For I will send unto her pestilence and blood into her streets. And it's talking about America, Babylon the Great. And the wounded shall be judged in the midst of her by the sword. See, they getting judged with their own stuff. Esau Edom judging other Esau Edoms, but it's all from the Most High. So by the sword upon her on every side, and the other nations are going to get this place after they've jacked themselves up. The other nations are going to attack this place, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And that's what they're waiting on. That's what the bricks and stuff is coming together, because they know, hey, America, Babylon the Great's finna get in a civil war, so they're going to be fighting in their own damn shit. And by the time that gets weakened, that stuff's weakened, we'll be able to attack. Okay, that's what's coming. It's a lot of stuff is going to happen at once. Okay, so now we're going to get into just a whole bunch of disasters that's happened in the last couple of days. Okay, I'm going to get into that. Okay, so over here in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Just want to show a couple things and do some precepts. But, it's closed because of flooding and whatnot. No, he removed it. They always do that. Maybe not letting him put his videos up. This guy's like a pretty good guy to look at when it comes to seeing disasters. So I guess we can't see that one, but we see it happen. Now we look over here. Severe weather strikes Mecca. That little block. The ones who think they're Israel walking around at the Edomites. Yeah, they was over there trying to do their little fake little bull diggity.
Mecca authorities on Wednesday ordered schools to remain closed after heavy rains in parts of Saudi Arabia. A video has been shared on social media showing pilgrims evacuating from an overnight heavy
worshiping
thunderstorm.
That bullshit.
Heavy rain accompanied by thunderstorms in some areas of Mecca al-Mukarramah on Tuesday night, the Saudi news agency reported. The National Meteorological Center said moderate to severe thunderstorms will continue, bringing torrential rains with strong winds.
Just stop playing with Yahawashi.
Horizontal visibility in parts of Jizan, Asa, Al-Bahar, Mecca and Medina, he said. Video shared on social media showed pilgrims struggling to circle the Kaaba and crossing strong winds, with some having to avoid a separation fence that has been blown away. A widely circulated video showed lightning striking the famous bell tower overlooking the Kaaba. Pilgrims and residents of Saudi Arabia's holy city of Mecca evacuated on Tuesday night as the region
There's
was
people in that
bad
car,
weather
too.
and threatened to be blown away by strong winds. The country's National Meteorological Center, NCM, issued a notice on Wednesday morning that said erratic weather conditions were expected to continue today and emergency warnings had been issued for some parts of the province of the kingdom. A video shared on Instagram shows pilgrims battling strong winds that have hit the holy city. People were seen fleeing in the streets, and officials at the Grand Mosque nearly fell off their feet as they tried to grab hold of the blown bricks. A video circulating online showed the moment when lightning struck Saudi Arabia's
I told you it'd be peace and safety then, Lord. Jack your ass up because you kept worshiping that bullshit. Okay? You start playing with Yahawashi Yahawashi. Damn near hand tossed your ass across the damn world. That's all, man. People don't understand, man. So they said landslides caused massive devastation in Kulu, India, amid heavy monsoon rain. So they got stuff over there too going on. Man, Lord not playing, man. He's not here to play. Okay, he's tearing down everything that is not worshiping him.
Disaster News Channel. The information of the video shows an incident in Himachal Pradesh, India. Buildings collapsed after heavy rain triggered landslide in Himachal Pradesh's Kulu district.
There's probably people in there and everything, man. Boy, you got them heathens panicking. You hear me? You got them heathens freaking out. Some of them in there, Jake, man. Okay. Yeah, that was the one that we already watched about. It hit the Mecca. Okay, they was over there worshiping that false god and the Lord jacked their ass up. Oh, I took down one of them I wanted. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now, this is another one that was pretty interesting. The Lord put the Spirit on me to deal with, but I'm going to go put in these precepts for that destruction that we just seen. It's Judges chapter 10, verse 14. I don't got too many precepts for this. You know, the Lord put the Spirit on me, plug in a couple of them. So this is Judges chapter 10, verse 14. Because we might end up in a situation like that. Like, I got caught in a tornado earlier in this year. I called on Bahasham Yahawashi, and hey, he took that thing away. Everything around me was jacked up, though. It was the first time I ever been in a tornado, too. So, you know, when you get in a situation like this, just call on Bahasham Yahawashi. You know, if you really love Bahasham Yahawashi, you do his commandments, and you've been praying and preparing, hey, he'll deliver you, okay? He ain't gonna say he's not gonna deliver you. He ain't gonna say he's gonna deliver you and not deliver you, you know? We have faith. You know, even though we don't have any assurance of our life, we're still gonna trust Yahawashi. Judges chapter 10, verse 14. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, right? The ones that's over there at the Mecca block. Don't start crying now. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And obviously, they wasn't. They was getting hand tossed, okay? The Lord was throwing them heathens around. Tired of seeing them worshiping that damn block. Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 49. Oh, hold on. All right, 15, verse 49. And it reads, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, and sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses, with destruction and death, and that's going to be all across the four corners of the earth. Okay, and the Lord's going to send various different judgments, these four winds, in various different places. You know, so we got to make sure that, you know, we keep watching these things. And you got these other people, they're not even paying attention. They just think they're going to go do whatever they want to do, and the Lord ain't going to do nothing about it, man. And that's really like how America Babylon the Great is going to be soon. It's going to be horrible here, man. So you got to get yourself ready. Spiritually, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. They shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. So some people are going to be forced to take the M-A-R-K. Okay, some people are going to be forced. Okay, the ones that the Lord's like, man, you just chilling. You're supposed to be a warning Israel, and you're not doing it. Okay, and you're not doing it in order. Okay, the Lord will give you over to that thing. Okay, if you don't get drafted to World War III, you can't forget that. So you got to make sure that, you know, you doing what the Lord told you to do. Same way with me. That's why I'll be doing this every day. So, you know, and it's still not going to assure whether I'm of the elect or not. That's if you're chosen. We don't know. But we know this, the heathens dread the name of the Lord. So we know that they don't even got no chance. At least we got a damn chance. We got a great chance if you do, you know, you give it all your might. So U.S. issues threat warning after hackers break into a satellite. Okay? 3 teams at the DEFCON 23. And if people don't know what DEFCON means, if they say like DEFCON 1, that means there's like missiles coming over here. Okay? And shit's finna get blown up. That's what DEFCON 1 means. So they're at the DEFCON 23 convention, met a government challenge to hack a satellite in orbit. Okay? It seems nothing off limits for a threat actors to target these days. Hospitals, schools, charity organizations, and even municipalities have all been successfully targeted by malicious cyber attacks in recent years, and now seems the attackers are looking into space for new systems to try and compromise, like things that will detect nukes if it comes over here, or can, you know, things that will detect that and shoot things to try to deter those missiles. Okay, they're going to be able to hack into that stuff. So last week, the Office Director of National Intelligence, in coordination with the FBI and National Counterintelligence and Security Center and the Air Force of Special Investigations, issued a warning about increased attempts to attack both satellites in orbit and the intellectual property of companies developing space technologies. The warning comes just about a month after 3 teams at the DEFCON 23 convention Las Vegas managed to hack a government satellite in orbit. See? So this stuff is hackable, man. This stuff can be broken into. So those hacks were concluded with the full permission of the government, part of the U.S. Space Force Hack-A-Sat competition. So they were trying to see if it could actually be hacked. And 3 of the teams who successfully breached the security of the orbiting satellite were awarded up to $50,000 prize money for demonstrating how such an attack could be conducted. So they were doing it to basically, you know, see if it could be hacked in, and if it could be hacked in, show how to prevent it, right? This is the first time that the hacker groups were able to prove that it is now possible to circumvent the cybersecurity protection of satellites in orbit. Okay? They did it. Okay? So if they can do it, what does that mean? Other people can do it. And it looks like they didn't take that long. Okay? It was just a day. Okay? They hacked all that shit. Okay? And they authorized it, but it's just like, what if somebody just did it and it wasn't authorized? You know? Like, what are they going to do about it? You know, what's showing is they're not ready. They're not ready for all that technology that these other nations can put together to come up with something that can literally hack all the systems, man. We're just showing China got most patents in most of our stuff, where they can just shut our stuff down. Shalom, Maki, Bahasham, Shabbat. I'm gonna go ahead and put this precept that he had in there. This is Mawath to Adawam, Luke chapter 21, verse 10, verse 11. Then he said, unto them, nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And yep, it's beautiful. It is, Yapa. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful time for Israel. You know, we getting out of here. You know, Lord willing, sometime soon. So Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5. Oh, wait. We're going to do for Isaiah 54, verse 16 first. Behold, I have created the smith that blows the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy, which we know is the intercontinental ballistic missile. And when them people, they hack that government issue, you know, satellite that's able to detect that stuff. Shoot, it said in Joel 2 verse 1, 2 verse 1 through 12, they ain't gonna miss. Because why? Because they ain't gonna have nothing to detect it. They ain't gonna have no way to deter it. None of that. Because their system's gonna get hacked. You know, more than likely just before they launch them things. But you know, we know that the MOTB and World War III and these things have to take place first. You know, basically the intercontinental ballistic missiles are going to be the conclusion of World War III. Okay, Isaiah chapter 13 verse 5. But the war ain't going to be over after that, because there's still going to be, you know, the land of Israel stuff's going to be destroyed, but there's still going to be people down here alive. Okay, just like it was in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, there were still people alive walking around and stuff. There's people climbing out of their house. A lot of them died from radiation, but you know, right now you got a lot of people preparing for this kind of stuff, and they going underground. Okay, and stuff like that. And the Lord's going to come down here with the 144,000 elect, and everybody's going to be wailing that see him. He going to slay everybody, man. All right? That's how it's going to really end. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. Okay? And he's making sure these other nations are ready to do what he wants them to do. This is also in Isaiah chapter 13 verse 20. We're going to go over a little bit. We're going to go a little bit ahead and skip to the point. It shall never be inhabited. It shall never be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Just talk about American Babylon the Great. Neither shall their shepherds make their fold there. And that's what's happening right now. They over there with the bricks like, man, we ain't trying to deal with these motherfuckers. We trying to get the fuck out of here. Okay? Fuck America. Okay? That's how they are right now. So Revelation, you know, and these heathens keep going, acting like they know the Bible. They be like, oh yeah, well, America, we all know who everybody in the Bible is, but America doesn't know who they are. Oh, whatever, man. Y'all know who y'all is. Stop acting. Okay? Y'all is Babylon. Revelation 17 verse 11. And the beast that was, talking about that system, and is not. Why? Because it's not going to exist. And also, they don't think it exists. They don't think it's them. Even he is the eighth and is of the seven-headed beast system, and goeth into perdition, right? Which means get put to death, right? And the 10 horns, which thou sawest, was 10 kings, talking about those NATO union nations, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast, the system, okay? To issue in the central digital bank currency system, to put in the Qadash, okay? The mark of the beast. Verse 13. These have one mind, and shall get power and their strength unto the beast. That's going to happen. And then what are they going to do? These shall make war with the Lamb, which we know is Yahawashi, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords, the kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So you have to be faithful. And let alone you got to be chosen too. So that's why we pray to the Lord, you know, to just strengthen us and endure to the end, because we don't know who's chosen. But we know who's acting like him, the hopeful elect. So now we're going to go over here. And this is my last one. I only got one precept for it. It's pretty simple. Shelves emptying as road. Airport closures have some NWT communities without groceries. People are people, and they bought out the store in about 2 days. Okay? That's how fast you can go. You can go down the street, go get down something to drink, and all the damn juice boxes is gone. Okay? It can happen that fast. So self-stable milk and crackers are among all that's left in some NWT grocery stores located outside the capital city. Wildfires has interrupted NWT supply chains by closing highways and limiting flights out of the Yellowknife Airport for Lutzilk. I think how you say that, Lutzilk. NWT, a fly-in community, and an East on Great Slave Lake, it means that the community's one grocery store is stuck with empty shelves while awaiting deliveries. Now, this is something just small right now, but this is going to happen globally, okay? Everybody's going to face this situation, and we're going to have to be not hasty in this time, even though we're going to see other people being hasty and doing all types of stuff. That's why we're doing fasting and stuff, you know, preparing to be patient and not be so quick to make rash decisions, you know. Be patient. Now I have none, he said, and everybody knows there's none. So now what happens? People are people, and they bought the store out in 2 days, blah, blah, blah. And what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be chaos, okay, if this happens on a worldwide event, okay? So, you know, get used to it. This is kind of stuff that's going to be happening globally, especially when this pandemic kicks off again, just like it did last time. There wasn't no damn toilet paper. Okay. I'll put a couple more precepts out. We're going to put these in there, and then, this is a good one too to kind of add on to that civil war. So 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 24, at the same time friends shall fight one against another like enemies. The earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. See? Ain't gonna be no bread, no juice boxes left. Okay? So we're gonna need to make sure that we're trusting in Yahawashi, not this world, and how many juice boxes they got at the time, because the shit can run out real quick. So I got one more precept, which is 2 Esdras. It was real close around what he said. 2 Esdras chapter 6 verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's what's coming, you know? That's what's coming. So like he said, oh yeah, he put it down there too, the water ox. Yeah, he had the same one. Suddenly they shall be afraid. Yep, the storehouses. So I just put down there, and the trumpet shall sound, which is us giving that sound, that alarm. Then every man that hear, when they hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. Why? Because they know everybody that was coming on the highways and byways and doing these videos every day and telling them and warning them was telling the truth. You know? And then at the same time, friends shall fight in one another. You know? And then there ain't gonna be no more bread coming to the store or nothing. It's gonna be through. So that's what I got for today. Y'all know I at least try to make it about an hour. So Lord willing, it was edifying to y'all, and Lord willing, we can exalt the name of Yahawashi yet another day. Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that live like the other nations scattered across 4 corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Gotta give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone living to this truth and been ordained by the Lord. Teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, be part of that number. Lord willing, this part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord, and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. The judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5. It is not slack, like 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9. And it's unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. DTA, wah ba ba. Ball. Alright, Lord willing, we out of here soon. Lord willing. You know, like I said earlier, we can exalt the name of Yahawashi, and Lord willing, y'all having a edifying day of atonement, and you are cleansing yourselves as we all should be, and setting that marker for Yahawashi, and continuing to complete our vows for this marriage. So shalom.